Time for the Daily Take. Geraldo Rivera joins us today. Hello, Geraldo. What have you been thinking about
Connell.
all day? What a day, huh?
A wonderful, wonderful day. And, you know, I gauge everything. My wife is a pretty good indicator, my barometer of the significance of recent developments. And as a Jewish woman, I can only tell you that she has been sobbing tears of joy. I'm serious about this. She really, each hostage as they were reunited, and those dramatic scenes, those heart-rending scenes of emotion. Imagine the anxiety. Imagine how they were tortured by the unknown, worried that their beautiful boy was starving or being abused in some other way, whatever, and to see the happy ending, and taking it so personally, as so many Jewish Americans, Jewish people throughout the world are taking this very, very personally. I'm a bit more analytical about it. I've seen so much and have been disappointed so many times in the Middle East. I try to be more measured about it. But I tell you one thing, I can tell you all my misgivings, but I just want to really emphasize, regardless of your politics, despite the fact that I absolutely oppose his policies on immigration and other domestic issues, there is no doubt and no argument that President Trump has been magnificent in this process. He has stayed the course so far. He has put together that congregation of Arab leaders that we saw on the screen earlier today is breathtaking in its scope, in its depth. Everyone from Pakistan to Turkey to Egypt and the Gulf states and on and on. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to see. All convened essentially by the American president, all now being put on the record that they're going to do something to help this process. So this problem, Gaza, and it is a damnable problem, maybe with problems that are unsolvable, but Trump has put people on the record, these kings and presidents and prime ministers are on the record now, these sheiks, that they are part of the process of helping fix this problem. But the problem with no schools, all destroyed, hospitals gone, housing decimated. This is, you can't put a smiley face on the task ahead. Who's going to provide security? Will it be Hamas? Hamas, is Hamas going to disarm? Is that really going to happen? So there's a lot to worry about, Connell, but going back to Erica and her response, for a couple of minutes here, let's all rejoice that so far, at least, this has been wonderful.
Yeah. No, I think that's worth it today. I mean, just watching the pictures of these people. I mean, we've met so many of the families over the last couple of years, and you always hope to have that type of a conversation after they've had this type of an embrace rather than another round of disappointment. So it's just, look at that emotion in the background, even waiting for the hug. It's just one thing after another today. On President Trump himself, you know him personally for years. What do you think? He said he did an interview, said something to the effect that this could be the biggest thing I'm ever involved in, right? And what do you think it is about Trump that allowed him to get to this point? What is it that he's able to do, maybe that others aren't able to do? I know I think he has faults in other areas, but in this particular instance, what was it about Trump?
He is Elvis now. He is the biggest movie star on earth. The most charismatic. As he walks around with the power of the American empire, infusing him with with confidence and power. And he is a leader. He seizes the moment and is really putting his long experience to work to solving these problems. And he's got some real problems to solve. But bringing this group together, though. That's the sheer force of personality. There's no one that could have done that. I don't think Ronald Reagan could have done that. Maybe Roosevelt is the last president who could have summoned the world or the part of the world that you're most concerned with here. And to essentially to choreograph this historic breakthrough. They are now facing a daunting task, Connell. This is the biggest construction project since the pyramids. They have to, what are they going to do with all that rubble, all that concrete, all the felled buildings where remains are squished together with cement and blocks and so forth? An idea I had just off the cuff, remember when we tried to supply Gaza by sea, and the rafts that we put together were torn apart by the sea, and the whole project was a multi-million-dollar disaster, a fiasco. I would take all of this concrete, all of these, and there's going to be more demolition to come. Take it all and use it for the jetties that they build. Build yourself an artificial harbor there. It's Jaffa and Haifa, the coastal cities in Israel, north of Gaza, work fine with the artificial harbors that they have created. Put this concrete to work now to make a safe harbor where ships can come in and deliver, the massive amounts of aid that's necessary here. The trucks are fine, but there's nothing like a cargo ship. With those containers, I mean, you really could bring the aid that you need. But the thing I worry about now, right this second most, is security. Yes. Who is in charge of security? There are no police stations. Are there any cops? I don't think so, unless they are Hamas. And if they are Hamas, what's that deal going to be? Are they going to be allowed to leave when the Palestinian Authority comes in and takes over whatever the Palestinian entity is? And we don't know yet what the Palestinian entity is. And who are going to be the peacekeepers? In Lebanon in the north, it has been the Nepalese and other very small countries where their militaries have been absolutely ineffective in keeping peace. But if you had the Turkish army is a massive army, the Egyptian army, again, you're talking about massive resources. That's really what you need. You need a coalition of the willing to offer their capable and equipped troops to keep the peace there.
200
and they've got to be backed with deep wallets.
Right. 200 U.S. soldiers, I think, so far. Part of that will have to be, to your point, much more than that. Before Geraldo goes, if we have the Bill Clinton comments, we haven't shown them yet. Let's put them up on the screen about what he said today. I'm grateful ceasefires taken hold, that the last 20 living hostages have been freed, and that desperately needed aid has begun to flow into Gaza. This in from former President Clinton, who says President Trump and his administration, Qatar, and the other regional actors deserve great credit for keeping everyone engaged until the agreement was reached. And last hour, David Swerdlick, New York Times, added this.
Do I think he has reached the end goal or that he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize? At this point, no, I do not. And if any of your viewers think that that's Trump derangement syndrome, I also don't think that President Obama deserved his Nobel Peace Prize. There's a long way to go in this process, and we're just at the beginning.
All right, closing thoughts from you, Geraldo. I know you think you spoke about the Nobel before this.
He misses the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he misses the point. The point is that Trump engaged the America the Great, in this process. He decided that we were going to help these people separate after generations of deadly conflict. And he put the United States squarely in the middle of this, put his hands out to both sides and said, get on the bus, get with the program. This is new, this is different, and I swear to God, Connell, all I do is I'm praying that he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. By the way, Chuck Schumer just said that he commends Trump for the ceasefire. So even that, and Clinton was showed.
Yeah, so did Hillary and Condoleezza Rice. Yeah.
Right. So that's the day. For this work overseas, a lot of praise from people you wouldn't necessarily expect, but they know how difficult this type of stuff is. As do you. Thank you, Geraldo. We'll talk to you again.
He deserves every bit of it.
Geraldo Rivera on the Daily Take. What a day, right?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.